What's up, guys? Has it really been another whole month since I've made one of these? Doesn't seem like it, but it sure may as well feel like it. It is now day something, 60 or 70 something of so-called quarantine. And it's going to continue to go on, and as long as we believe it exists, it's going to continue to persist. I'm on my way now to get a car wash because I want to put my car up for sale. I'm not really using it anymore. It's just kind of sitting on the street, and I move it for street cleaning and 2-hour parking and rush hour moving and all that kind of stuff. So when that kind of thing happens, then it's like, well, I don't really need this anymore. If I need a car, I just rent one or buy another one. So I'm gonna go get a car wash, go take some nice pictures of it, and post those, and see what happens. I always like taking really nice pictures of the cars that that I sell. One is to put them on the post, but second, I like having like the nice pictures of the car. They're nice to keep in the sale folder of my cars folder on my cloud drives, right? It's an area of life in which I'm very organized. I'm very organized about the files and paperwork for cars that I purchased. There's the check engine light. It was off for a while. I was wondering where it was. I'm gonna have to get that fixed as well before I sell it, because otherwise I can't do smog. And the PRC does not let you sell your car if it doesn't pass smog, and the PRC rules state that if you have the check engine light on in your car, then the smog test fails. So that's another to-do item. But the car wash right now is more important than that. But anyway. Oh, and PRC, that's the new name for the state of California. The People's Republic of California. Because it really is the People's Republic of California. That's what it is. I couldn't think of a better name for it. I mean, with all the freedom and the monitoring and the social distancing that we have going on, like, somebody wrote that in a comment. Of course, they were talking about the PRC, People's Republic of China, but I read it as People's Republic of California, and I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So from now on, I'm calling this state the PRC. And I know it's not as bad as actual PRC. Like, if you take President Trump and put him in a Winnie the Pooh costume and give him a Winnie the Pooh face, then they're not going to come and lock you up and make you disappear. So it's still better than the PRC, but we're heading there. And I think it's interesting how a lot of people are like asking for the savior, what they think is a savior, but really they're asking for their demise. It's very interesting how that works. If you haven't watched it yet, there's a nice video of a former KGB agent explaining how subversion works, and how when he worked for the Soviets, how they would go into countries and take them over without firing a single shot or brandishing a single weapon. They would do it with mind warfare. Get inside the minds of people, get them to believe certain things, and then at some point they would ask for the solution, and then the solution would be total control and overthrow of the government. And voila. You have a new territory under your state, and you completely control all the people. And of course, to get out of that kind of situation, you have to use it gets bloody. It doesn't come easy. Getting into that situation is easy because it slips and falls away, but once you're there, you have to fight your way out. That's what we don't get. That's what we don't realize here on the PRC. We think that everything is sunshine and daisies, but we're scared to go out in the sunshine because there's a virus. Everybody's wearing masks, and we think this thing is going to kill them. And it's really interesting to see people wear masks all the time. And especially when I'm walking down the street, and I don't wear a mask when I go out on the street, right? Like, if I go shopping or something, they say you gotta wear a mask in order to go into the store. So I have a sock and one of those clips. So I put the sock around my face a little bit. Can't really breathe though that well, or talk with my sock on my face. So if I'm talking to the butcher or somebody or whatever, then I kind of just take it off and so I can talk to them, But it's interesting to see people when I'm walking down the street and there's somebody's coming there. Some people will go onto the street, they leave the sidewalk, they go onto the street to pass, and then come back onto the sidewalk again. It's very interesting how this whole thing is working. And I think more than 90% of people in San Francisco PRC are wearing masks. And a few, the minority of people, I think, are non-mask wearing people. And it's interesting to kind of see that. I am recording, huh? Yeah. Because it shows the people who are wearing masks, it shows you how many people are still just utterly controlled by the media, propaganda in the media. The TV tells them to be afraid of something, and then they go out and do it. And now they think they're saving their lives and saving their lives and other people's lives. And now it's even become you don't even need the secret police in the PRC, because people will just get mad at you for not complying with the orders. I was reading comments in one of the local news area websites, and there was a person who said, as a senior citizen, I'm more concerned with people not wearing masks and social distancing. She's one of the kinds of people who would call the police on you if you shake somebody's hand out in public. Right? That's the kind of, you don't need secret police when you have that kind of people. You really don't. But there's now news and doctors and very prominent people saying that wearing a mask is not effective. And it even decreases your immunity. And it can cause you to get more sick, because when all the virus gets, whatever particles you have and you breathe out, it gets caught in the mask, and then you touch your face, take off the mask when you get home, and then you spread out the germs and everything all over the place. And if you're not reusing, you're supposed to use a new mask every single time you go out and use a mask. They're supposed to be disposable things. You're not supposed to reuse them. And even Fauci was saying a while ago, I saw a clip of him saying, we should not be wearing masks. So it's interesting why people are still wearing masks, even though now the news that they listen to, right, is telling them that they don't need to wear masks and it's probably more dangerous. It's I don't know what they're listening to, man. I don't listen to TV, don't have a TV or cable or anything, but people are getting their information from somewhere, and I don't know where it is. Well, I know where it is, I'm just kidding. If I pull up my phone and look at the home screen of my browser, can see all the news articles, all the fear mongering that goes there, and they tell you to do this and that. And now they're even starting to advertise different kinds of fashions and styles of masks, bandanas, and all kinds of crap. But it's interesting to see people wearing masks. It's very, very interesting times that we're living in. And I've thought about this before, like, especially when I was going through school, like middle school and high school, learning history. How it would have been really, really amazing to live during the times of when big things were happening and there was all kinds of stuff happening, like the Roaring 20s or electricity being invented, how quickly and rapidly the world changed because of that kind of thing. But then I realized that I'm living in that time, and right now is that time. It's like amazing to be alive right now and to be witness to what's going on. It is such an amazing time, and I don't know about reincarnation or any of that kind of stuff, I don't know, but I'm glad to be alive at this point in time, because when future me or another me or whatever, another person is reading the history books in 50 years or 100 years, they're going to be reading about this time and what's going on right now. And they might think, oh man, I wish I would have lived in the 2020s. The soaring 20s. This is going to be the soaring 20s. It's the start of an amazing decade. 1920, the roaring 20s was nothing in comparison to what's going to happen now. There's no comparison. I'd much rather be alive in the soaring 20s rather than the roaring 20s. So, I don't know. Things are gonna be so much fun. Things are so much fun already. I'm grateful to be alive at this time. That's all. I don't have anything else to say. If I was going to keep going, I'd just ramble on and on and on, and you'd probably hate me for it. Not that I care about that, but here we go. See you next time.